Hi everyone, Steve here from RSM and welcome to the latest episode of our Coffee Conversation series. Today I'm delighted to be joined by Mick Todd. He's the chairman and founder of To Be Limitless. And I met Mick fairly recently actually at a fantastic event that you put on. And I thought what a great opportunity to kind of introduce you to our audience and hear a little bit about your story. But as you know, Mick, this is all about having a bit of a chat over a coffee. So the first question I have to ask is, what do we have in that little cup?
Yeah, so I'm a flat white guy, Steve. Yeah, so I'm flat white with, it's interesting, I was in the US recently and they said, would you like cow's milk? And I chuckled away and thought, yeah, for me that's milk. So it was a flat white with full cream milk.
Nice,
yeah.
Awesome. And very different because I'm probably more on trend in that that's the oat latte with, well, it's oat milk, so it's not real milk.
Yeah.
But I like it for the taste.
Yeah.
But in any event, enough about the coffee. That's excellent. But maybe just start if you could tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about who is Mick Todd and
yeah.
Where
So I'd like to start by saying, isn't it great that you're right? We just connected very recently. Like we still could measure that in days. But I love meeting authentic people, and that connection for me creates commitment. And right from the start, from our very first conversation, I thought, this is quality. And so I'm here today because of the quality that I saw in you right from the start. So that, for me, that sort of commitment and connection is something. And I'm excited about not what we're doing here, but also some of the things we're talking about doing together as well.
Yeah.
So it's really exciting for me. So I started out a long time ago, Steve. Actually, Brisbane's a really important part of my story. I went to boarding school here. All of my best mates are still in Brisbane, but I started out a long time ago in education and then started coaching rugby and then got to a space where I had this opportunity to coach rugby at an international level. And it just made me stop and pause and say, what is it about rugby that I'm really enjoying? And it turned out it wasn't the game, it was the people. And so I stopped and had a think about myself and thought, right, and did some study, psychology, organisational behaviour, leadership, skills building, and it all built towards this process of becoming an executive coach. Not that I knew what that was when I first got out there. So I founded a business in Dubai about 20 years ago, which is called To Be Limitless. I love that you introduced me as chairman. The reason I'm chairman is I wasn't a very good CEO, so I needed to promote myself. And I needed someone to come in. My business partner was a far better CEO. And what we've discovered is he's not the best CEO we could have either. So we've just got a new CEO. But all of that tells us a bit of a story about what our business is about. It's about finding what people do best and getting them into those positions so that they can do that as consistently as possible. And that will be individuals, organisations and teams. So we're currently the Professional Services Awards Executive Coaching and Training Business of the Year. Last year we won the Project of the Year, and really humbly, because it is with humility, because I understand you only win those awards if you work with great people, and I'm the Executive Coach of the Year in that space, at least according to this group in London who presented the awards. But I think for me, none of that really matters. It's about the quality of the people we get to work with. And so we currently work with organisations, individuals and teams in over 40 countries. And a lot of that is about just, what do you guys do best? And how can we open up space so that you're doing that better and more consistently? And so you can have the sort of impact on this world that you really want to have. And we try to open up that space.
That's fantastic. And this notion of, and you hear it from time to time, I'm a great believer in it myself actually, is that it's so important to understand what your strengths are and to be able to play to those strengths. Even some would say, ignore your weaknesses unless it's a fatal flaw. If it's a fatal flaw, obviously if I'm a marketing person, but I don't quite understand marketing and branding, that's probably a fatal flaw. But is that something from your own kind of take on things that you work with people to really bring out the strengths in them? Or do you work also to kind of those things they're not so good at to kind of bring those more to the fore.
Yeah, and I think the how's important in that, mate. I think it's a great question, because I'm not ignoring my weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm deeply aware of them, but I'm looking to bring my strengths to bear in the world. So when we're looking at strengths, we'll look at, well, my greatest strengths are almost always my greatest weakness.
Yeah.
You know, I think we'd agree that persistence is a great strength, just as stubbornness is a terrible weakness. They're fine lines.
Yeah.
So I think what we're looking to do is increase the level of awareness around for people. And it's great, because when you and I when you talk about that, I think about what was it in psychology that first got me on this line?
Yeah.
And it was seeing this quote from Donald O. Clifton, who said, what will happen when we start to focus on what's right with people, rather than fixating on what's wrong with them all the time?
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean I can ignore my weaknesses, but it means, right, if I fixate on what's right with you and what the best version of you would do now, it's amazing what comes along for the ride. As opposed to, let me focus on my weaknesses, which is, and so my strengths take a hit.
Yeah.
I'm not enjoying it.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden performance is naturally going to drop, whereas as opposed to saying, right, tell me, what would you at your best do now? Well, at my best I do this, this and this. Are you doing that at the moment? No. Okay, can you tell me why not? And how can we open up a world where you know what a great week looks like for you and your organisation, and we can spend more time doing that? Because I've found over time, if I can open up space rather than create voids, I'm opening up space for people to be at their best.
Yeah.
The conversations about weaknesses almost become null and void, actually.
Yeah. I think it's a fantastic quote. And I heard that for the first time, I might say, when we first were...
and I've got goosebumps thinking about it, because I spend my time thinking about not worrying about what's wrong with me, but focused on what's right with me.
I love that.
And pushing the circle wider, because you and I love connection.
Yeah, 100%.
And a CEO, and shout out to you, Valentina, because I want to mention you. She's based in Milan, and she'll say, connection creates commitment. So if you want people to be more committed, make sure you're focused on building connection, genuine connection with them. And that's what has led me to this couch today, to a great coffee, but also to talk about things that really matter to me, about what high performance teams actually look like, and but more importantly, what it feels like to be in a high performance team.
So tell me a little bit, just off the back of that one, like we've seen many examples, and I'm just thinking of one in particular, which I'll mention, where you've got a team where you've got some incredibly talented individuals, but they're not necessarily functioning very well as a team. And if I look back to the old Brisbane Lions, in terms of the first, the team that actually won 3 premierships on the trot, and they got Lee Matthews came into.
They went to 4 in a row, didn't they? They went to 4 grand finals in a row.
4 grand finals in a row. Unfortunately, they didn't get that last one, but they hired Lee Matthews. And he seemed to be a catalyst. This is just from an outsider looking in, where you had this amazing group of talented individuals. He seemed to be a catalyst for them. They formed a team, and they became an unbeatable team over 3 years. How many organisations do you see where you've got incredible talent, but they're not working together as a team?
I think that's one of the greatest challenges that we face, and it's because there's so many different sporting analogies, Barcelona versus Real Madrid, team of champions versus a champion team, and you can pull out so many different things. But I think the big thing for me is to recognise that talent starts the game. When you're selecting people, you've got to have. You can't have a marketing manager that doesn't understand marketing. But that's talent. But chemistry wins the game. And that's a line that you and I have shared 100%. Recently. So the talent doesn't matter if the chemistry's not there. And chemistry, there's no one way to get it. But to get it, you have to be deeply aware of the strengths of the people, around, and also have enough humility. And we spent time last week, Steve, with a guy who's massively ambitious, but also massively humble.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think for me, when I look at that, there's no one size fits all to high performance. But what we do have to recognise, if we don't get the chemistry right, the talent won't matter.
Yeah.
So as a leader, and if you're out there as a leader, one of the things that we look to do as an organisation is to get the chemistry right.
Yeah.
And to make you aware of, okay, what's the best version of me for you?
Yeah.
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 And not, this is the best version of me. You're going to have to get used to that. Well, that's not team.
Yeah, no, I love that.
Yeah.
The chemistry piece really resonates with me. Another thing I'm keen to explore, and we, like just about every other organisation, and particularly professional services firms, obviously we're living in this new world and it's rapidly changing around AI and what that's going to do to, accounting firms, legal firms, but pretty much all businesses. It's going to have an incredible impact. Does that make, in your mind, because obviously your business is very much about the human connection, it's about chemistry, does that create additional challenges for us, or does it actually open up more opportunities for us? Well, or is it a little bit of both? Maybe the challenges bit first.
I think the biggest challenge out there is mindset around it. So change is omnipresent and omnipotent. And so if you bring fear, frustration, and judgment to change, it's going to be a really negative experience.
Yeah.
Whereas if you bring courage, excitement, and curiosity to the change, it's going to be a fantastic experience.
Yeah.
Change isn't going to stop.
Yeah.
But the perspective I take is going to be the thing that shakes it most.
Yeah.
So with AI at the moment, for example, are there risks in it? Sure. But the great ostrich approach to the world, if I stick my head in the ground, it'll go away, probably isn't going to work out that well for me. Yeah. So we're looking to embed AI, and the piece of language, and it's. I'm not going to take credit for this piece of language. You and I know it. I mean, we spoke about it over lunch a couple of weeks ago, Steve. I'm not going to be replaced by AI, but I will be replaced by people that are using it more intelligently than I am.
Yeah.
And then I go to a piece of language that you and I heard last week. If we're in a business where people are our secret sauce, be really clear in our leadership, be really disciplined around our approach, and have really great rules around compliance. And if we're able to do that, even though things are moving quickly, but our mindset is abundance, not scarcity, then we'll form better businesses from it. But I don't live in a fearful way. I'm not afraid.
Yeah.
I actually love life. I think it's great.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for ways for it to be better all the time. So I bring an abundance mindset to a team. What's right with you, not what's wrong with you. What would the best version of this team do now? Is it challenging? Yeah. But interestingly, and I love this part, this great conversation, I didn't know I was going to go down this path, but when I've done thousands and thousands of hours of executive coaching, and one of my favourite questions, the first question I ever ask people is, tell me about you at your best. And in the highest performing people I know, they all say when I'm challenged.
Yeah.
So the fact that this is a challenge, that's going to bring out high performance people from me. So, it's challenging. So you're not at your best when everything's easy and it's just all happening the way. No, I'm at my best when I think life's a collision sport, Steve. And I want to run into it. I don't want it to run into me.
No.
So how am I going to win the collision?
Yeah.
So am I excited about the challenge, or am I dreaming of a time when it was easier rather than wishing I was better? Yeah. Don't wish it was easier. Find ways to be better is a big piece of language that we have with teams, because it's not going to get easier.
No.
But we can get better.
Absolutely.
And do you love that? Because I love that.
Yeah.
And those are the people. And it's a piece of language that you and I laughed about. No one's ever come to me and said, Mick, I'd like to be average.
Yeah.
Can you help me? People don't come and ask that. So if you don't want to be average, that does mean you have to get better at what you do as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love that, Mick. And there's a whole lot of fear out there at the moment around, and I think part of it is it's not just the change that's happening; it's the rate of change, that exponentiality of change. But I don't think that in itself is anything new either. But there's also this fear, and I was reading this great article last weekend in the Weekend Financial Review, and it was an interview with Sam Altman, founder of OpenAI, and you can look at this through a couple of different lenses. You can look at it and say, this is the end of the white collar workforce, which is absolutely not going to be the case. As you said, this is around embracing an amazing opportunity to do things differently and to learn from that and become better. So I like the way that you kind of looked at it. You briefly dismissed the challenge and you're kind of focusing very much on what you see as the opportunity.
And, that's not toxic positivity either. That's understanding and embracing the challenge, but not getting stuck in the challenge.
Yeah.
It's actually right. Yeah. Is it challenging? Yeah. What would the best version of us do now?
Yeah.
Is not ignore the challenge.
Absolutely.
But embrace it and run with it and turn it into an opportunity. Because ultimately, though, those are the people that have always won. No matter what.
Throughout history.
Yeah. Not the people that thought, oh, well, fire's dangerous.
Yeah.
Let's not do anything with fire. Let's not
put that out. We don't want that. Yeah.
That's not how we've evolved.
Yeah.
And Peter Diamandis and Singularity, the University of the Future, Palo Alto. Yeah, some brilliant insights out of there. So today is the slowest rate of change you will ever experience again.
Love that.
So it's going to get faster, but the great thing about it? If you're really prepared and you're embracing it, it's like surfing, isn't it? You don't have to catch every wave that comes through.
Yeah.
Be selective, have your plan, and catch the waves you want to catch.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what every surfer knows, you don't have to catch every wave, but get to a position in your life where you've got your plan and your goals. That's the wave I'm going to catch. Awesome. Okay. But you're not going to stop the waves either. Every surfer also knows that. I can't say, okay, this set's over. I'd like to push the off button. That's what life's like. The waves are going to keep coming.
Yeah.
Get into the right position for you.
100%. Love it. Mick, thank you so much, mate. Really, really good.
Yeah, fantastic.
We could keep talking like this for ages, and
we know we can.
Probably will. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I'm sure you gained some pearls of wisdom out of that from Mick. Until next time, we'll see you soon. Thank you.